It's your favorite YouTube dealer. I appreciate you guys for stopping in. My man Harry is on a mission. He's been dropping a lot of music, and I am totally here for all of it. This one is called Prove It to Myself, which I think is going to be a positive song and something that all of us need in our life from time to time, right? Because sometimes you feel like you got to prove something to yourself. It's not really about making other people happy or making other people feel like you've become successful. It's like, I've got to prove that I can do this. And once you prove it to yourself and you realize that that's really all that matters at the end of the day, I feel like you can be a much happier person. And honestly, you can achieve more, like, because you realize that achievement comes from within, right? Like, you don't need all the accolades and all this other stuff. It's beautiful to get that as you grow and as you go through different things and phases and reach different heights and stuff like that. But in all reality, the one person you got to prove it to is yourself. So let's dive in. Let's see what my man Harry is cooking with. It's a beautiful beat. That piano that comes in too is fire.
Yo, life is amazing, but also life is amazing problems. I face them often, embrace cacophony. God to erase the option of waiting for someone to save you. They ain't watching. These demons follow me constantly. I am chased by goblins.
First of all, this man's vocabulary, a cacophony. I want to say I actually know what that is. It's like a collection of sounds, almost like like a bunch of like bells going off, or I can't remember why I know this word. I came across this just like a couple months ago, and I had to look it up at the time, but now I know. It's just funny that he happened to use it. But this man's vocabulary is crazy. Then he said some other stuff, and I already forgot that. So we got to go back through a little bit. Let my man cook.
Yo, life is amazing, but also life is amazing problems.
Facts.
I face them often, embrace cacophony. God to erase the option of waiting for someone to save you. They ain't watching. These demons follow me constantly. I am chased by goblins.
Waiting for someone to save you. A lot of people are doing that. A lot of people are waiting for someone to save them, for someone to give them some kind of direction, or, you know what I'm saying, to pull you out of something. And in reality, like, it's not really gonna happen, right? Like, for some people, you get lucky, and some people will save you, right? You put yourself in debt, you like just different things in life that you get yourself into, and someone will come along and may potentially help you out of that situation, but you can't rely on that, right? You've got to learn to rely on yourself and get yourself out of a lot of these situations. And if by chance some help comes along, hey, it's a beautiful thing, right? But you've learned by focusing on, it's going to be me. Like, I've got to do it. It brings you to a different level mentally than sitting around and being like, oh, I'm so helpless. Oh my God, lonely me. Let somebody come and pick things up for me. Like, you can't go about life like that. I like how he said he's being chased by goblins too.
Waiting for someone to save you. They ain't watching. These demons follow me constantly. I am chased by goblins. They're gaining on me. My pace ain't waning. No way I'm stopping. Might have to run 100 miles like I'm David Goggins. Every second counts, and I say this often. One day we'll all be buried underneath our graves and coffins.
For anyone that doesn't know who David Goggins is, that man is ruthless. I used to follow him on Instagram. I probably still do, but for some reason he doesn't really pop up. So I don't know if he's not posting anymore. But this man went from being very heavy, overweight, not really focused on life, not like, he was one of those people waiting for someone to save him and not really doing it himself. And he changed all of that around. And he went through, I can't remember what they call it. It's like the Iron Man or something like that with the Navy SEALs, maybe. I could be wrong. Maybe it's not the Navy SEALs. Maybe it's the Marines. I think it's the Marines. There's like an Iron Man week or an Iron week or something like that, where like you really push your body to its limit. And I want to say he was one of the only people, if I'm not mistaken, that completed 2 of them back to back or something like that. He did some crazy kind of shit, but then he goes on crazy runs. And I saw him on Joe Rogan's podcast talking about a lot of it and the things he went through. And it's a really interesting story. Now, some people don't like him. Some people say that some of his shit is bullshit, but at least his accolades, he has proof of, right? His achievements of finishing certain marathons, of, the Iron Weeks, of the different stuff like this, where like he can actually show that he was there and he did it. But, some people think that he elaborates a little bit extra on top of things, but I think that man is, regardless of, even if he did, let's say he does, the amount of stuff he has accomplished and how he changed his life around is inspirational, right? Like, you don't have to necessarily approach it like him, because he's very cut and dry. Like, cut the bullshit, stop being weak, stop being soft, push yourself. And, and that may have worked for him. It doesn't work for everybody, but I think that you can take inspiration from the fact that he was able to turn everything around.
Second counts, and I say this often. One day we'll all be buried underneath our graves and coffins. I'm trying to etch my name in stone on my own terms. A fucking necklace, man, I glow cause my soul burns. I ain't impressed by fame alone, so I won't turn greedy or infected. Game is cold, but I hold firm. I'm up next to claim my throne. When I flex, I'm breaking bones, eating buttery beats early like breakfast pastry scones. Fucking set list, I ain't stressed, the stage is home. Compose records in seconds, this is just my daily zone. Come on, working to evolve, I ain't doing this for y'all.
See, he ain't got to worry about a set list because this man's memory is on a whole different level. Like, he's got a crazy brain. And he's just like, and if it don't work out, I can freestyle literally a song anytime I want to on any topic to anybody. So it's like, it doesn't even matter. Like, if I forget the lyrics to a song by chance, which I doubt is going to happen, but it does happen to the best of us at times, he is the one person that can literally take it into freestyle and you may not even know the difference. You're still thinking, oh shit, this is a dope song.
Beats early like breakfast pastry scones. Fucking set list, I ain't stressed, the stage is home. Compose records in seconds, this is just my daily zone. Come on, working to evolve, I ain't doing this for y'all. I just gotta prove it to myself. Ain't no way to fake this, I was made for greatness. That's the realest truth I felt. Swimming across the ocean, icy water frozen. Haters probably hope I drown. Shit. I'ma live my dream though, we ain't losing steam, no. We ain't never slowing down, slowing down. I remember when the thing I looked forward to more than anything else was smoking reefer, pouring booze. Like fuck a 10-year plan, I had a shorter view. Devil on my shoulder, only one that I reported to.
See, this I feel like a lot of us can relate to this in some way. Maybe not everybody that smoked weed, but or drank or did both. I definitely did both to an extent. I didn't drink a lot. Like when I was younger, like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, like I would go out and party on the weekends and stuff like that, but it never became like a strong habit of mine. Whereas weed became my best friend, my right-hand man. It was a crutch. It was a tool at first, and I used to use it, smoke a little bit, write some music, and that was what I think made me fall in love with it, was the creativity that I felt like came out of it, right? But then slowly but surely, it went from like, oh, I'd go on a blunt ride and smoke with some friends, then go home and write some music, or I would roll one up and smoke like a few hits or whatever and write some music too. Now I'm just sitting here and I'm just chiefing down 2, 3, 4, 5 blunts back to back to back to back to back. I'm not barely working on any music. Some nights I'd get myself in the mood and I'd do some music, but other times I'm just sitting here watching videos, Netflix, like just nonsense. And it's like the money spent on that, the time wasted just sitting around for couple of hours and stuff, just watching stuff, like in time that like I don't necessarily have free. Like I should have been working on something. I should have been trying to progress something that actually meant something to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different if it's like, okay, I did all my work. Now I'm just going to sit down, relax and chill. But even then, smoking that many is a detriment. It's a crutch. It's like, it was to the point where it's like, I was scared to not smoke that much because I felt like I wouldn't sleep. And it's crazy because I'm not someone who's in my head who's like, oh my God, my thoughts, like I can't be alone. And I'm not trying to make fun of people that are like that. Like I feel bad for people that feel like their thoughts will control them if they're sitting in silence, or, the anxieties and depressions that people have. So I take that very seriously. I'm lucky that I don't really deal with a lot of that. Like I do worry about different things in life that are going on. Like I'm not numb to it. I have a lot of empathy, so I care about other people. If they're in a rough spot, I'm constantly stressing, worried about it, right? So that does affect me, but it's not just, I don't just have it just because it's there, right? Like it's usually for very specific reasons. Some of them I can fix, some of them, unfortunately, I can't, but it just became a crutch. And I was so nervous to not be able to sleep at night because I thought that was what was fueling my ability to sleep. Come to find out, I finally stopped smoking after probably trying to do it on and off for like 5+ years, which it sounds pathetic to some people who quit weed very easily. But it was more so a mental thing than anything. It's not like I knew I was going to physically withdraw or anything like that. Oh my God, I'm missing it, my body. But in my mind, I couldn't get past it. And then once I did, honestly, like the first week, I just took some melatonin at night, like some 5 milligrams or whatever. I'd get on, play a little bit of Call of Duty to keep my mind busy because I was so used to smoking during that period. So I had to try to find something to distract myself. And I'd start falling asleep sitting here playing after like half hour, go lay down, pass out, sleep beautifully. Right. And so I never really went through a phase of not being able to sleep after I quit. And now I just sleep perfectly fine. No melatonin, no nothing. End of the night, tired, throw on a movie, barely can make it through 20, 30 minutes and I'm snoozing. So it's like all this time I was so worried about something that wasn't even real. I just never gave myself a chance to find out if I could just sleep by myself without weed, without, and so I don't know. I went down this path for a very long time. So I totally understand that. And it's like no 10-year plan. Like you think very short term, like you're not the on point person that that you can be deep down. So I totally feel him for that side of things.
Ignore the truth in my aorta, cause according to my insecurity, your gorgeous view was not afforded to. He who chose not to get high, therefore I snored a few lines to unwind my mind. It left me more confused.
Ooh, is my man? He said I snort a few lines, right? Like, I mean, you ain't snorting weed. You know what I'm saying? So, and I mean, listen, I'm not gonna say that I never did that myself. I definitely did. It was not really something that ever took control of me, thankfully. I feel like if I had done something like heroin, I'd probably not be here today. Like, not even that I'd pass away, but I just wouldn't be functioning. I wouldn't be on YouTube like this because I have a very addictive personality and certain things would definitely control me. And I think that heroin 100% would have ruined my entire life. I don't think I would have escaped it. So shout out to anybody that has. But when it came to sniffing a little bit of yayo, as we like to call it, I don't know. It was like in the moment, I always wanted more. But I feel like anybody that's done it, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like you get that rush, that feeling, you like sniffing that numbness. Like it's just a nice feeling. You're out there, you're talking with people, feeling mad social. And so you want it to keep rolling. So you're willing to pay money to get more, pay money to get more. For some people, though, when they go to sleep, they wake up, it's kind of like not fresh in their system. They still want more, right? And they're like, yo, I can't wait to go out tonight. Or they have some left and they do it right that morning. I wasn't that way. As soon as I would wake up in the morning, I'd be like, ugh, like I can't believe I did that last night. Like that's the only way I could ever feel about it. So I knew I would never get addicted to it, but I would still do it every once in a while. Every couple of months, we'd go out, do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, So I totally get where he's coming from.
Like, why's it feel like my focus is restored anew? Self-medicating, attention deficit disorder soothed. Off a quarter to a porter brew, I pour my heart out like Jimi Hendrix on the Georgia blues. You could see I had the most passion, but I lacked the mental fortitude. Homies like, you dope as fuck, why you not recording, dude? Now I'm making up for lost time, I can't afford to lose. Nor snooze, I feel like there's always more to prove. Working to evolve,
Facts.
Doing this for y'all, I just
Definitely
gotta prove
is.
it to myself. Ain't no way to fake this, I was made for greatness. That's the realest truth I felt. Swimming across the ocean, icy water frozen. Haters probably hope I drown. I'ma live my dream though. We ain't losing steam, no. We ain't ever slowing down. Slowing down.
Whew. Eric Cook, I had to look over real quick. 12 minutes. Yo, I've been doing some long reactions lately, so I apologize. It just depends on the topic, what's being talked about. Like sometimes I feel like I go into these long discussions about things that I can relate with and things that I've done in my life and stuff like that. And I guess like to me, that's my favorite part of music reactions. Like I don't mind like stopping and being like, yo, this line meant that. Oh, this is what he was talking about here. But I also like to just share who I am. I like to share myself. I like to be an open book and talk about the things that I've been through, the things that I've dealt with in hopes that, like, you never know, someone might watch and be like, you know what? I've gone through that. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to reach people, which is why I also share a lot of stuff on my main channel, Duane TV, like regarding like a surgery that I'm supposed to have coming up that I'm going to kind of delay on because it's not like necessary right in this moment. I share my quitting weed story as far as like I talked about it when I first started the first day or two, a week or two later, like I kept updating you guys. Like I like to share with you guys everything that's going on in my life, again, in hopes that there's people out there that may, relate and get some escape from it or some understanding of things that they're going through and realize like I'm not the only one dealing with this kind of shit. So that's why I talk a lot. And I also I don't know. I like talking. I like discussing different topics. I find life very interesting. The psychology behind things, the reason why we do things, all that stuff is very interesting to me. So, and Harry brings it out of me because he always talks about some real shit, especially in these songs he's been putting out. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. Comment down below what you guys thought about this. Keep me updated if songs come out, music videos, whatever the case is. Obviously, every Friday I'm on it. I know if he does Gorilla Bars or something like that, we usually check it out. But he's been dropping a lot of stuff randomly throughout the weeks, and I may miss that. So just make sure that you guys let me know. But I appreciate you. Take it easy. Stay safe. I'll catch you in the next one, homies.